Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, my name is Thad Leister, and I'd like to introduce myself to you. I have a background in chemical engineering. I went to North Carolina State University and got my bachelor's there. And then I went on to Clemson University and got my MBA. Currently, I'm a doctoral student at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington in their educational leadership program. I'm here today to talk to you about mentoring and coaching. So the bulk of my career has been associated with industry, and specifically I worked for the General Electric company. To date, I've worked in several segments within the GE company, but predominantly I've worked in the plastics business and the power segment of GE. Currently, my title is a plant manager. I'm with the GE Hitachi nuclear business based out of Wilmington, North Carolina. And as a plant manager there, I manage what we call the field service center. What the field service center is basically a maintenance depot for tooling. And we prepare that tooling and send it worldwide to commercial nuclear reactors to do maintenance and inspection of those reactors. So I have a team that does that, mainly of mechanical and electrical skilled people to perform that maintenance. When I was with plastics, I had other plant management and operations management positions, and so my experience is 25 years with GE, and that's kind of composition of where I am. On the educational side, as I mentioned, working on my doctorate at UNCW, and also do some adjunct faculty education work with the University of Mount Olive here in Mount Olive, North Carolina. So with that background, I want to share my experiences and principally how GE handles mentoring and coaching. And in working in different GE businesses over my 25 years, we've had different programs, so I'm going to highlight a few of them, but as time changes, these programs update and mature, but here are my experiences. So I particularly like working with new professional hire employees. And when I was with GE Plastics, I was part of a council that really designed curriculum and programs about indoctrinating those new hires. And our program focused on a rotation of 3, 4, or 5 experiences, 6 months, 9 months, if you will, to have these new hires work in different settings and different job categories. So maybe it's in the purchasing sourcing department or the manufacturing department or a sales component as well. And we felt that giving the new hires different experiences helps them develop a professional network within GE that they can broaden their coaching and mentoring with and make personal connections. It also allowed us to observe them in different environments to see how they performed. So I really enjoyed that. Recently, the General Electric company has purchased the Alstom power company out of Europe. And Alstom is a very large company in the power generation market and power services market. And I don't have the exact number of employees, but we're basically integrating approximately 50,000 employees from that company into the larger GE company. And this in itself brings a great opportunity for mentoring and coaching, particularly around cultural assimilation of two companies, and two very proud companies and two very good companies. So GE has recently created something called Connect GE, which is a e-mentoring, e-coaching type setup where someone who has a long service with GE can indicate their willingness, and they can team up with a person from the Alstom acquisition and virtually instant message, whatever format, that way the two can come together and talk about how the culture within GE really functions, and with the attempt of helping integrate the companies culturally. And it's very interesting and different for me, because usually the coaching and mentoring I've done has been a face-to-face, sit-down kind of thing, and this is virtual, and I don't know that I ever will meet the person in person, so it'll be a new dimension and challenge for me. But I look forward because I have done some acquisition and integration work in earlier parts of my career with GE, and cultural assimilation and assimilation of norms and values is a key thing to making an acquisition work well. So I look forward to see how that unfolds with GE over the next year. So the other thing I want to touch on in the nuclear business that I'm a part of now, how do we bring in new hires and how do we train, coach, and mentor them? So I'll speak to the segment that I work in, which is the field service program. So again, we're the team that goes to commercial nuclear reactors, helps them with maintenance processes during shutdown and inspection of the reactor to ensure its safety. So the bulk of our salaried exempt team is in the field at our customer sites for the bulk of the year. And so not only do we have the challenge of bringing in people to that workforce, but it's distributed largely at our customer site. So we're not centrally located throughout the entire year where training and mentoring might be easier. So what we've designed for new hire field engineers is a comprehensive program. In particular, we do some theory-based training like supervision skills, human performance training, which is big in the nuclear industry, and how to reduce human error. And then we get into more of the technical aspects, but theoretical. So nuclear reactor physics, boiling water reactor system fundamentals, and these are classes that are, of course, technically based, and most of these folks are engineers or similar degree people, but it really brings home training around the equipment our customers have. But beyond theoretical classes, we have practical classes, and those practical classes are done at a reactor simulator site that we have in California, where we have everything but the nuclear fuel. So we have basically constructed internals of a nuclear reactor, and the students can practice the skills that they need to perform the jobs in the field, taking a reactor apart, moving simulated fuel around within the reactor, and those type activities. So we've moved from theoretical now into practical aspect of training. And there are several classes that encompass many weeks of training that's hands-on practical work. The third pillar of the training is live training, if you will, hands-on training at a customer site. So we'll send our new hires out under the guidance of our more experienced people to have hands-on at a customer site in a training capacity. So they're more carefully supervised and watched. And this program that I just described takes approximately a year to get through. So throughout that, we also assign coaches and mentors to the new hires, because again, when you're on the road working, it's that much more difficult to move into the right company culture and into understanding the expectations of the job, as you might spend 1 month at one job and go to a different location for a different job. Again, not having that headquarters central coordination makes that all that more challenging. In terms of accountability and how we make sure that happens, well, both the theoretical-based training and the practical-based training come with exams and practical demonstration, and those are necessary to obtain the right proficiency, or not necessary, they're required to demonstrate that proficiency to graduate from the program, or the students get remedial training as appropriate. And based on the student's interest and competency that is shown in the program, we'll place those newer hires into permanent positions that they can continue to develop as more mid-career employees in terms of technical growth or managerial leadership type growth, or both. So that's an overview of the programs that I've had experience with at GE, back from the days in GE Plastics with designing programs for new hires, to the virtual mentoring program that GE just started with the integration of Alstom, to today's recruitment and development of new engineers into our field engineering program. And kind of in conclusion, I want to say mentoring, coaching, and training all go together, and is a vital part of what we do to be successful in our industry. Thank you.